Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Track Talk podcast. I'm Max starting this episode for once, and I'm joined by...
Sam, hello. Well done, Max. I'm blooming proud of you there. I'm blooming proud. So,
I stepped up. Yeah.
We had a conversation before the pod, and, well, a very brief one. And I was like, it's as much as Max's podcast as it is mine. So I thought, I'll let him have a go for a change. How was that, Max?
I didn't mind that. That was alright.
Yeah? Were you scared? You know, you feel like the weight's on your shoulders, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. I've really, my, what's it called? My brow started to sweat. I was nervous, you know what I mean? But I feel like I sort of carried it through.
Yeah, and do you know who else is probably quite nervous?
Who's quite nervous?
Hulkenberg.
Oh, yeah.
The Silverstone Grand Prix. So this is our review of Silverstone. I am actually, you know what, Max? I know we normally leave our ratings for the race, but I'm generally giving it a 10.
Yeah, I
think.
I mean, we did watch it together, which obviously always increases the score because like you enjoy it more when you watch it with people. But genuinely, it was action like from start to finish. I give it a 9 only because there wasn't a battle for the lead towards like till the very end because it was kind of decided by penalty. But it was just carnage, like because even at the end you had Hulkenberg fighting for the podium. Do you know what I mean? And no one cared about the race winner. It was all about the podium sitter basically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is like I'd give 10 like a classic rating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's a classic.
Like, it's one of those. Whereas if YouTube is a thing in 20 years' time, whatever you're using in 20 years' time, it would be like, oh, remember the 2025 Silverstone.
Yeah,
GP.
I get that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think 10 is like history books classic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's one of those where like if you're gonna go back in history and rewatch like any race ever, that's going to be on your list. You know, however long that list is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's kind of I wouldn't say entire races, but in this season has had some good moments.
Yeah.
Like not full races, but some good moments I'd say so far. Like
I'm saying 2021 at this point was better.
Obviously, yeah.
I think, but I'm still this could be up there close to the end. Do you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
we'll have to
like,
see
depending on how feisty this gets.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, with this impending Max and George news, which we'll get into in a bit, I think the closer that those two get to each other in the championship, the spicier that will get. So it won't just be like it won't be like a driver's thing. It'll be more of a, more of a, like first, second, third, fourth. I think the other thing that 2021 had on this season at the moment is like the constructors battle as well. Like the constructors battle was kind of in the season. And I quite like the constructors battle. I really do enjoy it. Every single year I look forward to it. Obviously,
some people don't care really. People say people only care about the drivers, but I disagree. Because I actually care about the constructors. Because like last year when McLaren like barely won it above Ferrari, I was actually like not nervous, but I was like, this is quite a good thing to sort of look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When Leclerc was like, at this point, do we win the championship or not? You know what I mean? Sorry, that was a terrible Monegasque / French accent. Sorry, that. But yeah, the other thing as well is we've totally like missed my crash. You know? Oh no, this is qualifying.
Yeah, this is qualifying. Yeah.
It said lap 6, and I was like, oh my god. So I might have spoiled it there.
Oh, what happened?
But yeah, I think obviously the thing for a constructors battle for me as well is like Williams has always been my constructor.
Yeah.
So I'm having like a great season as a Williams fan, but obviously I'm like, well, like not that like a midfield battle is not as important, but it's just like I'm gonna be way more excited when Williams is finally getting in the top threes, top twos.
I was going to be quite bold and talk about like, the constructors and say, I think it's already sewn up by McLaren, and even if they lose performance and aren't even the fastest car, I still think they still win it. Unless the only team that I could see actually beating them would be Ferrari because they've got two drivers like McLaren, which are like both I think top tier. Like
well those upgrades seem strong in the race before Silverstone. Where was that again? Oh my god!
It was Austria, but the thing is though,
it was
I thought that too in practice, but then it comes to the race and the McLaren are like 25 seconds ahead, and they're battling each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're battling each other like it's a done deal. Like they're honestly, I feel like when we get to 25 races, if a team can have two drivers that are really dominant, I could see someone getting like 1,000 points maybe because you know what I mean. Like it's like with like sprints and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like. You never know.
Yeah, true.
Wow. Anyway, should we sort of skip to the obviously Silverstone we said always bangs, and I feel like it did bang as we said because it was a wet race, and we love a wet race, don't we? Wet to dry conditions, we love a wet race. And then back to wet again, or back. The
thing
dry.
Is as well is minor sidetrack. We were saying we wanted to go Silverstone next year, right? And it's more of an event, more of a festival than it is of. Not that it is of a race. It's racing at its core, but it's more of an event than I'd say anywhere on the calendar at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I think even if you woke up, right, at Reading or at any other festival, and you wake up in your campsite and it's raining, you're like, fuck me. But I imagine if when they woke up on Sunday and it was pouring it down, there was claps, there was cheers, there was partying.
Yeah.
There were like,
ponchos coming out.
Exactly, ponchos are coming out. We're going to have some wet boots, but we're in for a great race. I love a wet race. But you know what?
Yeah.
No, carry on. Mate.
I was just saying, should we just skip to the biggest talking point of the race, like in terms of the battle for the lead?
Yep, go on.
So
the safety car.
So basically, from the start, Piastri overtook Verstappen, who was on pole, who did a sensational pole lap, and he was leading by 10 seconds. Safety car comes out, I believe, for Hadjar crashing into the back of Antonelli. I can't remember. There were so many safety cars, I forget towards the end. But anyway, under safety car conditions, Piastri brakes and Verstappen goes right past him. And from the offboard, I don't know about you, but I thought it wasn't that bad. But then, when we saw the onboard of Verstappen, I think we both said, yeah, that's a slam dunk penalty.
Yeah, I think as well, like, a lot of things keep on going back to George and calendar as well, where they're like, well, if George can do it, why can't he? But first of all, people that say that didn't. Even though everyone's talking about the PSI, I feel like there's still a group of people that just don't check the reports afterwards by the FIA.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Where they'll go, oh, George did it, so Piastri can do it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, well,
do you actually read what the stewards say? Yeah, do you actually read what they say?
Even I'd say about 70 to 80% of people that watch the sport maybe don't read the stewards' reports. I don't obviously read the report, but they at least read the headlines or keep up with the news afterwards, or at least look into why he got the penalty and George didn't. But I feel there's like 20% of people that just go off blind visuals and just go, stuff George, or not just George, but anyone in any penalty match. But yeah, I think the penalty's fair. I think as well, as you look further to the back, especially what Hulkenberg said in the cool down room afterwards, he said that because of the break he had to swerve as well, and a couple of his drivers looked a bit bad, which kind of shot.
There was a concertina effect.
Oscar up a bit, didn't he? Yeah. It kind of shot Oscar up a bit. He was in a bit of a bad mood.
that was funny towards the end. Yeah. Oh, he was the first time I've ever seen him pissed off.
Yeah, me and you have always said we've never seen him rattle before like that.
Yeah.
Which I thought that. Not that I diss it, I like, races are allowed to get rattled, but I think him first of all asking to swap the positions if McLaren didn't think it was right. Second of all, getting rattled a bit with Hulkenberg in the cool-down. And he was a bit rattled in the interviews afterwards. Like, fair enough, I don't think it's right, but I don't think he should get slated for it at all.
No, I agree. I think. Do you think? No, I'm not saying he. But it's probably a combination of losing a win that was in the bag through his fault. Because I feel like deep down he knows that it was his fault. Like something that he did basically, like him on his own, ruined the race. Because also I don't think Verstappen was challenging with his skinny rear wing in the wet.
No, I don't think so either.
So he literally could have just dominated at the front. I feel like he was frustrated with himself, and also he's maybe starting to feel the pressure of Norris being 80 points behind. Because beforehand he was 22 points behind after Canada when Norris crashed out, and everyone was thinking championship's over, it's done.
No, because I was thinking exactly the same. I wasn't thinking championship's over, but I'm thinking, well, realistically, these guys should be getting a 1-2 basically every week, and that's only what, a 7-point difference, 25 and 18. Yeah, there's only a 7-point difference, and that's 4 races already that it would take. 4 races it would take for him to even overtake. That's if they get 1-2s. That's not accounting for third place, fourth place.
Yeah.
But he's caught up very quickly, respectfully, to Lando Norris. I didn't expect him to catch up this quick at all.
Well, I think he said that after, was it Spain, his mindset changed where it wasn't that he was like, he wasn't so negative on himself. He just sort of accepted, like, I'm slow sometimes, but like when I'm fast, which I think like is kind of admirable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there was a big like maturity change, I think, which I respect.
But also, I'll touch one last thing on the penalty. people, so, yeah, talking about brake pressure, it was, I think, double George Russell's brake pressure, and also it was in the wet rather than the dry. So it's completely different scenarios, I think. And people who don't know wheel should just shut up about it, because it's. Do you know what I mean? Like, the degree of whether it should be 10 seconds or 5 seconds, I can see the argument there, but there's no argument. If you said no penalty, like, please just look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I
mean? Yeah, there's got to be a penalty there. I think George's brake pressure and whatever is going to be the new like standard. They kind of, do you know what I mean? They're going to be like, right, for instance, if it was like 40 psi, then they'll probably let them off. But like, they'll be like, look, you've got to be maybe like within 10 psi. Although I actually have no qualification or any knowledge to actually dictate the difference between 30 and 40 psi brake pressure.
Well, because we haven't driven an F1 car. I mean, how do we know?
So
that could be like an inch.
What
I mean,
there,
like an inch.
Yeah. I actually have no idea. Maybe we should look into that. I think I'd be quite interested.
But also this sort
of
is
where if we had a producer like on the side, I'd be like pointing him in the corner, being like, to type that up now quick and get it on. But no, it's just me and you on opposite ends of the town.
Oh my god, that's so far. People. So what happened? I remember. So on the restart, you were in the other room getting a drink, and I remember I went, oh, because Verstappen spun, and I swear you didn't see it, did you? Or like you just came into the room when you saw him spin.
I got round the corner as I saw like his back wheel like spin a bit. He was at like 45 degrees. No, that's a right angle. I don't really know degrees. He was at an angle that I was like, I don't think he should be at that angle.
And that was,
I was cooking my mince because I wanted nachos, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which turned out dreadful. So for the listeners, right? What did I have? I had mince in the fridge. I had tangy cheese Doritos. I had a bit of cheese and
some powder.
I thought I had sour cream and salsa, but I didn't have sour cream and salsa. And I started just putting seasoning on the mince, and for some reason, because obviously I was in a rush, I just started putting whatever seasoning on. I was like, oh, it'll taste alright. I'm not too bothered. I'm not a chef anyway. Ended up putting. This is funny actually, Max. I never told you about this. Ended up putting. Well, you know about the turmeric. I put the turmeric on it, which turned it green. I then put the Doritos in the microwave with cheese on top, and it actually burnt the cheese a bit because I wasn't paying attention to it. And it also made the Doritos a little bit more stale than it should be. On top, I've put that mince on top. I've put the mince back in the fridge, and I'm like, oh, I'll have the mince tomorrow. I don't care that it's green. I know it's green because of turmeric, not because it's gone off. The day after, I go to have that with like a bit of rice just after the gym. My mum's gone, whatever mince you cook, that's disgusting. It's already gone off. And I was like, no, mum, it was just turmeric. She locked my mince in the fridge. I know, but yeah, that was a bit of a run. But yeah, note to self: don't try and make nachos during a safety car. Because you miss Max Verstappen spinning at 100.
And I think it was his first mistake I've seen for a while, actually. Like, genuine mistake.
It is. Yeah, I'd say since 21, putting it in the
I think that there was a mistake. I think 2022 in Singapore, he like went straight on. I think, from my memory. But that was, again, like 2 years ago.
That's because he came 5th in that one, didn't he? That was the only one where he didn't finish first.
Yeah.
And he might have had a second place at some point.
Should we... because this is apparently the George Russell podcast sometimes. Should we talk about George Russell and Charles Leclerc, because they sort of group their races together in a way.
So yeah, the thing is, right, is when they pitted at the start, we and obviously as well, like, it wasn't just one person, it was him, Leclerc, and there was a couple of others. I thought, this is a bold strategy and I hope it works. And it was apparent, like 6 laps in, we were like, right, this is not working, has it? Like you were seeing the times either drop or like stay completely the same. I don't think they ever gained. I could be wrong because I wasn't really there. There was so much going on.
Oh,
mate, do you see what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, he sort of went into a gap that didn't exist, but then I guess you squeezed him. But it's more on him, I'd say.
I was also Yeah, wow. I'm surprised you clocked in on that. I thought you said he here is in like I've lost connection.
No. I mean,
yeah, that was unfortunate. We were having a good race as well. Also, we did up the difficulty to 95 because every single time we up it, we get better. And you were struggling at the front, Max.
I was actually having a proper race. Which, to be fair, I wasn't an Aston, but like it was decent racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I was a bit sceptical because they said rain was coming in like 10 minutes time, and me and you were both sort of trying to work out in like our brains how long that would be, like laps wise, until the rain came. And it turned out, because of safety cars, it screwed their races, didn't it? Basically, straight away.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was just unfortunate. I don't think there was, without the safety car, I still think they wouldn't have made
because I think, you know, Stroll finished like P6, 7? He did the dry tyre strategy, but then quite sensibly, after it started raining more, he was like, fuck this, I'm going to, like, obviously I'm going to drop to the back, but I'm going to have wet tyres rather than dry tyres, and I feel like it was the good, like, the correct, you know what I mean, like, the correct choice, if you know what I mean.
100%. And something else I want to touch on there. Whoa, blimmin', that was a bit close, wasn't it? Another thing I want to touch on, Max, is the lack of use of wet tyres in a Formula 1 race. And we were talking about this on the day, because at the end of the day, how many laps were we behind that safety car?
It was a lot, it's like 6 laps, I think.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, at that point, do you not bring the safety car through the pits and make a mandatory wet tyre pit stop?
Because they can do that, can't they? They can mandate wet tyres.
Can they? I'm not too sure.
The race director can red flag or safety car it and then say everyone has to change to wets, which I think means that the safety car doesn't drive around for that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Like, what's your opinion on this, Max? Because I'm sure, right, is if you get them all on wet tyres and it's still bad, then you just red flag it.
Yeah.
But I think it's the fact that we didn't even give him a chance, and we're just like, oh yeah, sit behind the safety car. Like, I want to see racing. And for instance, you put all of them on wets, right? Some of them can happily pit on inters like 2 laps down the line, and that again will ease in a bit of race strategy. But I don't know. I don't really agree with it, because we saw it in Monaco, was it, or another one? I can't remember. It's happened again where like we red flag or safety car before we even put the wet tyres on.
Yeah.
No, it was Monaco's start was delayed, wasn't it, by like 40 minutes, because and everyone was like, why don't we just put the wet tyres on?
I think that was, sorry to be technical, but that was because of do you remember there was a power cut? Everyone thought it was because of the rain. It was actually because of the power cut.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think the most recent example of this happening was Australia, because obviously Australia was wet, wasn't it, this year? And I'm pretty sure it could have started under wet tyres, but we just went around doing, like, say, safety car laps.
Oh,
yeah, I think, I can't remember. I think so.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
But
yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Max? Go on.
I'm gonna use a football reference here, but you know that Sean Dyche meme where he's saying utter woke nonsense. I felt like back in the day, people would have just gone on wets, and I'm not even talking like in the 1990s. I'm talking like in the 2010s. Like, it was not that long ago that we would see people race in like quite wet conditions, with spray and all that.
And I think Massey would have put him on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bring back Massey.
Honestly, serious. Like, look, 2021, right? Obviously, it's wrong. I think when we look back on it now, I think you can agree. I don't think it was the right call.
It was like manufactured fun, but it was fun.
It was fun, and it was manufactured. And before the race, they did agree that they didn't want to end under safety car, right? So I know Massey he interprets that in his way, but not the way of the rule book, which at the end of the day, you should always go back to the rule book, not a handshake agreement between Toto Wolff and Christian Horner. Do you know what I mean? And the other thing as well is, I think the thing that got him there was that he also seriously inherited Sainz's race, because he was third and he ended up at the back behind the queue. Do you remember?
I remember this, yeah.
So they didn't let Sainz catch up, which I don't know much. I don't know if that would have affected the Constructors' Championship too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I think Massey would have put him on the wets, and I think we've got to start using those wet tyres, otherwise we may as well get rid of them.
Did you, what's the word? On a completely unrelated note, obviously we'll move on to the who was on the first step of the podium in a minute. But I was going to say, do you remember, I think it was Oscar's race engineer said to him during the race, he said that if there was a safety car, they would basically double stack, and Norris would wait 10 seconds behind Piastri. But like, because they had like such a margin, they could do that. And I was like, that'd be even more unfair. Could you imagine if that happened? Like, Norris loses a home race win because he has to wait 10 seconds behind his teammate. Imagine.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, man, I think McLaren's only going to get messier, but I don't think it's going to get out of control.
I'm here for it, though. You're not here for that messiness. Come on.
Mate, I'm here for the messiness. I think it's going to get messy, but I don't think it's going to reflect badly on Zach Brown.
Oh
no,
no,
I don't think Zach Brown's going to be starting.
Because we love racing. I mean, like, could you imagine if he went in Austria? Okay, Oscar, please can you not overtake Lando? Like, no one wants to see that. No one wants to see that. Do you know what I mean? So and we got a great race for like the win in Austria because they let him race.
100%, which kind of makes me happier that McLaren are running away with it in the constructors, because they weren't doing that. So obviously Zach Brown is going to
because if Ferrari were here or
he's going to put
Barley
on the constructors.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Mr. Third Place then? Should we?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, because when was it, Max, when me and you started to accept that it's coming? I can't remember what, like, it was like 15 laps where we were like,
I think I remember
where we were Sam,
it was longer than that. It was I would say like 30 laps, because remember he was behind Stroll for a while. And Stroll started dropping back, and then obviously Max spun, and obviously it was the other thing as well. Why couldn't Hamilton catch? Hamilton was catching him, but he was still quite a bit behind. I think the thing which I think everyone who's watched F1 for a bit and knows Hulkenberg's backstory will understand is everyone thought he'll probably get Stroll because he had more pace, like he was getting inside DRS and like closing in, but Hamilton was like gaining like a second a lap, and we were thinking, it's really sad because like I wasn't letting myself get excited, because I was basically being like, I can't get excited because I know Hamilton will just get him. Like, it's like a done deal. And when he overtook Stroll, I was like, oh my god, he's in third place. But then me and you were both like, I'm not going to say it yet because it will jinx him.
Yeah.
And then
it was.
Yeah.
It was those last 10 where we were like, right, it's actually on now. Like, we can safely say it's on, because obviously in those 20 laps, you're thinking, he could spin.
Yeah.
Someone could just, like, Hamilton could catch up like a second lap, so he's in a Ferrari and the other one kicks out. And as it was getting closer and closer, we were like, admittedly, I don't know about you, you can speak for yourself, but I was like, I don't give a shit about the Lando.
No, I was the same. I was the same. I was like, I've never focused on like a delta before so much. I've never looked like the time going up and down. I was like, oh my god, he's catching them, he's not. Because, bro, Hamilton was in DRS and didn't overtake him, and then Hulkenberg pulled a 3-second gap. I was like, what is going on here? And then they all changed to dryers, and then he had like a 10-second lead. And I was like, this is actually happening. It was so wholesome.
I was ecstatic, to say the least. We got up and cheered.
We actually did, yeah.
We had a, and it's a long time coming, because we've been joking about it for years. Ever since we've watched the sport, ever since you filled me on it, you were definitely the first person to be like, oh, by the way, this Hulkenberg guy.
He never got a podium.
He was in the Renault at the time.
That was a while ago.
Roughly when I started. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on. Sorry to pause the Hulkenberg track, but watch this blunder by me. It's just totally my fault. So I've decided.
Oh, he's gone 3 wide.
Senna. I've decided I'm Senna, and that's it. It's killed it.
Yeah.
That's we got locked. That's killed it. What an idiot I am. Do you know what I mean? I'm treating it as if we've got like flashback, but we don't. I'm thinking I'm prime Senna there. I was excited. And it's just so nice to see. Like, it's moments like that in F1 where you're kind of like grateful that you watched that race and you watch every race. Do you know what I mean? Because it's so easy to miss a race of F1 when things get boring. I'm not saying things are boring now, but like Sainz's win last season. No, in 23. It was 23 actually. Right, time's getting on. But it was Sainz's win in 23 when he was the only one to beat Verstappen that year. And I was like, wow, I'm glad I watched this race, because I could have easily could have sat it off, because we all knew it was this season that Verstappen win.
Well, it was almost a Russell win, because then he binned it in the wall. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up. Sorry.
Oh, no, I know. But yeah, no, do you get what I mean? You feel rewarded.
Yeah, for actually,
when you see like. And a quick question to you: do you think that streak will ever be beaten or unbeaten?
I think.
Know how to phrase that, to be honest.
I think it will be beaten only purely because of the laws of averages. So I feel like when Hulkenberg started out, there were like 16 races in an F1 season. Now there's going to be 24. So there's going to be someone who is just in like the midfield for like the whole career, which never gets like a podium. But I will admit, he has had his career especially is pretty crazy, because we'll forget, but he kind of retired in 2019 from F1. He kind of retired, and then he came back with Racing Point, got like 4th place in like qualifying, and then came back with Haas. Like, you know what I mean? He was like the super sub. He was always like, because he likes substitute for Aston Martin as well, I believe. And
he did.
yeah, when he came back at Haas, and he was like, he almost got a podium. I remember in Australia. Do you remember that race where like the two Alpines hit each other and there was like loads of red flags?
Yeah.
He almost got a podium then,
yeah.
but then the red flag screwed him. And
yeah,
of all the cars to get your first podium in, I would not see him doing it in a Sauber. Like, he drove Force Indias that were like the 4 fastest cars, and he didn't get a podium in any of them. But he, you know, drives a Sauber. To be fair, it is a little bit better than it used to be. But like, of all the cars, that the green wheelie bin, as people call it, like, what a car to do it in.
I think as well, it's kind of not ironic. I can't think of the right word, but him getting that podium ended Hamilton's podium streak.
Oh yeah,
at Silverstone.
Yeah,
he got a podium at Silverstone every single time he got it. I don't know. As much as I wasn't upset, you know, I like Hamilton. I think he's great. I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I think he is. But I'm not a Hamilton fan by any means. You know what I mean? I'm a Russell and a Perez fan more than I am a Hamilton fan. And speaking of Perez, apparently he is in Canada.
I've heard that. Yeah, I'd love a Perez Bottas combination, wouldn't you? That'd be so good.
Well, the thing is, right, is apparently Bottas. What's happened is Bottas was in, and it was between Perez and Schumacher. And then I've heard that now Perez is confirmed, and it's between Bottas and Schumacher because Bottas might be replacing Colapinto at Alpine.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think
so. If Bottas goes to Alpine,
if I was,
it'll be Mick and Perez.
If I was the team principal of Cadillac, I'd have Perez and Alex Dunn. You know, the guy from McLaren who did the FP1.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be a good combination. Because you have a young person, and like but they want like an American driver. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know who they're going to pick. Yeah. Maybe Logan Sargent. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, imagine.
Oh, speaking of people losing their jobs.
Oh, mate, we haven't even spoken about this.
Yeah.
Horner and, well, not Horner and Horner's gone.
Horner's gone.
Just quickly before we get into juice bits, I'm happy that Mecky's got the call up. And I can't remember the other guy's name.
Oh, Alan Permane?
Alan
Permane? I think it's his name.
I'm glad he's got. I think
he's been there
for
for ages.
2 replacements. Yeah. You know, Mecky's a very decorated career as an engineer across loads of teams.
I think he'll be. Sorry, I keep cutting you off, Sam. I was going to say I think he'll be the interim manager. I don't think Mecky's will be the full-time manager at Red Bull. I feel like in 2026 I'll have someone who's going to be like the main guy.
No, I like to think that they'll give him next season.
We'll see. That's just my initial prediction, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think we have witnessed, like, I don't know, like, this is like Williams' fall off, like, level. I don't see Red Bull coming back from this for like 10 years. And I know that's But I think this is it. I think if especially if they're losing Max as well, if they lose Max and their car is now slower than their sister team, it's done.
It's done.
I don't see them come back for at least the whole of the next regulations. Maybe at the back end of the next regs they might. You know, don't get me wrong. They might come back strong next year. Do you know what I mean? Out of nowhere, because it's not off the card. Like, you know, McLaren turned it around within a year and a half, didn't they? But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a big shake-up. The
difference between... sorry, go on. Sorry, after you.
No, well, I was gonna tee it up with if George is leaving and Max is going to Mercedes. I don't think George picks the Red Bull.
Do you know what I think?
I think he's better off picking any other team on the grid, even maybe an Alpine. Look, first of all, I don't know where George is going. I'd like to think he at least has a seat.
I think he's going, man. I can't lie. I think he's already gone. He's looking for other teams, I think.
And I said this. Oh yeah, I said this in what, second or third podcast?
You did, and I didn't believe you. I thought you were going to Aston.
No, no one believed me. Sad. Now I put it. And the thing is I don't see a muggier move than being replaced by Max, because he's gone against Max this season and beat him. He's having one of his best seasons in F1. Yeah. He stayed in Williams, just waiting for the Mercedes call up for 3 years, And then he was promised a championship-winning car and has brought that car from the midfield back to the top steps, being its only winner.
Yep.
Par Hamilton that once, but being its most decorated winner and podium sitter, and out qualifying Hamilton and doing better than Hamilton over the whole in equal machinery over the whole time.
All right, Nico Rosberg.
Sometimes, obviously, I know sometimes Lewis was given the new specs and they weren't, and he was testing out upgrades and they weren't up to pace. I'm not oblivious to that, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't think.
What do you think?
Russell's time in F1 is up yet. I think he is a commodity. I think whether it's just the fans that think this, and teams don't think this, but I think teams know that he is a great driver. I was going to say, with him potentially joining Red Bull, you said about how McLaren were able to come back within a year, basically. Like they went from 8th fastest to second fastest in 2023. The thing is, McLaren had, was it Peter Prodromou, Stella, Zach Brown is the team principal, like strong people who were big names, if you know what I mean. Whereas Red Bull, they've lost Horner, they've lost Newey, they've lost Jonathan Wheatley to Sauber, who just got a podium. Do you know what I mean? Like they lost all of these staff,
and they've lost a lot of their engineers and stuff, haven't they? As well,
and they're getting a new engine. Like I think Max leaving in the past wouldn't have been the end of the world for Red Bull. They could have, because they still had Newey and all that, but with them having no heavy hitters really, apart from maybe Pierre Vacher, but I heard that he may be leaving. They're looking bleak. That guy is. He's like the successor to Newey, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But so as obviously the stories have come out of Red Bull since Horner being sacked, apparently Horner was favouring Pierre Vacher and this other guy, I can't remember his name, over Newey, and being like, Newey's not that special, just basically I'm going to prioritise you two. And it sort of backfired because now he's been fired and Newey's left. So, and they're kind of left with two sticks to rub together. Yeah, and I personally, I think it's crazy that all this news was dropped on a random Wednesday. It was issue Wednesday. It was like, oh, here you go, massive news just dropped. It was out of nowhere.
I was at work, right?
Yeah.
And my colleague was like, oh, mate, have you seen this? Horner's been
I thought it was
Red Bull.
a joke, by the way.
And I thought he'd seen like an F1 troll thing on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just a joke, and it's F1 break, and you know the graphic that they
breaking news Russell breaks wind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was like, where have you seen this, mate? On Instagram? He went, nah, mate, Sky Sports.
Yeah.
And then that's when I looked down at my phone and I've seen the exact same notification. I'm like, oh, Nelly. Because to me, I was sat there and I thought, that's Russell gone.
Yeah.
I thought that's Russell gone. Max, where do you think George should go? Because I'm saying Aston Martin. I think if he can weave in an Aston Martin and take over Stroll, which I don't think's happening, I think Aston Martin is his best bet. I think his next best bet after that actually is Williams.
I thought that too. I think I'm different to you. I think Red Bull is still better than going to a midfield team. Because if it was 2024 and we were going into 2025 with the same car, I'd be like, yeah, go to Williams, go to Audi, somewhere else. But because it's a whole new regulation cycle, who's to say that Verstappen will, for example, have that car that always suits him? Potentially, but I'm saying the car George might like it. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a bit different than just a standard year.
I think it kind of still keeps him in the conversation, being at a top team like Red Bull.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you go to an Alpine and stuff, the media ain't covering you that much.
Yeah,
cause
it keeps you in the
limelight.
limelight.
At the end of the day, as much as I absolutely think George is great, when you go to a midfield team, you haven't got the cameras on you. Do you know what I mean? They're always still going to want to talk to the people that just lost Max Verstappen and the top team, the grid, and the most recent constructors champion. Well, not actually most recent, but the most recent string of constructors champions.
Yeah.
I just think it will keep him in the conversation. It'll be good for his media and it'll be good for his exposure.
Because mate, they need a top driver. It can't be Tsunoda and
Yeah.
Hadjar. That'd be crazy. Wouldn't that be actually mad?
Yeah, that would be mad. I think they signed. They nearly signed him before he signed for Mercedes.
Yeah.
Christian wanted him.
I was going to say if they don't sign Russell, then it's going to be someone like. I think Gasly would go there because Alpine have lost. Obviously, they're having Mercedes engines next year, and apparently Flavio isn't like obviously like that much cared about having a French driver because he all he wants to do is just win. So I heard some rumors that apparently Gasly might go, which would be a mental thing for him to go back to Red Bull after all these years. Do you know what I mean? But you never.
I think Gasly, Russell, or
Gasly, Russell.
Any of those three.
No, too fair. It'd be Russell and Hadjar or Gasly and Hadjar. Probably not just.
Well, where do you think Tsunoda's at? Do you think he's done?
Yeah, I think he is, which is really sad.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't drop that bombshell as the video. We're gonna have to go into dark again, Max. We're gonna have to go into the darkness. No, you don't. Tsunoda's not gone.
Yeah, I
surely.
think he is.
You're saying that as if that's like not the hottest take I've ever heard.
No, but I think it's true. I mean, it's a shame because I think like they're going to promote someone, and they're not going to keep Tsunoda in there for a second year. They might do, but I don't think they will.
Nah, surely they've got to. They've got to give him a chance.
So I think. So this is what I think will be the situation next year. It will be Red Bull. Yeah. Red Bull will be Russell and Hadjar, right?
Yeah.
And RB will be Lawson and Lindblad, who's the F2 guy. He's like second in the championship.
Yeah.
Like I can see that happening. I can see that sort. I can't see where Tsunoda's like. There is no room for Tsunoda anymore, which is so sad. Because do you remember how they would drop back down into like the RBs if they did poorly in Red Bull? There isn't room anymore. Do you know what I mean? There isn't enough room.
No. And I think that's unfair because he hasn't had.
I agree. Yeah.
He hasn't had a chance to prove himself.
Yeah.
That's like. Oh mate, that's.
I know.
I can't, the thing is I'm not even sat here thinking, oh, you're wrong. I'm just thinking I haven't even thought of the possibility of him going.
But
at the end of the day, I'd rather it him than Russell. Like 100%, I'd rather it. I'd rather it him than
There's
Russell.
no, but do you know what I mean? Though, where is his out? There is no out. No, do you know what I mean?
No, you're right. I think you are.
Should we quickly, before we go, talk about Belgium?
Yeah, let's look ahead. A track we know George is strong at. A track we know Norris is strong at.
When he's not hitting the wall.
Part of quality. yeah. Part of quality. And
he's really strong right to the point where he hits a wall.
Yeah, right until Eau Rouge, which is like
a river.
What turn is Eau Rouge? Like 3, 4, 5?
I think it's turn. Eau Rouge is actually turn 3, but then Radion is the one at the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
So turn 3, 4. No, 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, because it's like left, right, left. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that's pedantics.
Yeah. So until he hits turn 3, he's all right. No, George should be strong here. I'd be upset if George wasn't strong here. He's notoriously strong. Not notoriously strong around here, but
I have a feeling
that in the Williams all those years ago.
So you're saying Russell win then?
I'm saying podium. It's got to be
minimum, yeah.
I'm saying Piastri's having a rotter.
Really? I think he's going to have a redemption. I'd be angry, isn't it? Like be so charged up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like he's having a rotter.
I think, although he could get angry and hit Verstappen or someone, or hit Norris.
Yeah,
that'd be spicy.
Oh, actually, you know what? I just want Verstappen and Russell to hash it out.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Oh, that'd be good. If Russell and Verstappen fight for the win, though.
Yeah, that'd be mega. And obviously Russell's coming out on top every day.
I have a prediction for this, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
So I think
that's why you brought it up, because you want to get it out.
Piastri will get pole.
Wow.
But it will be a Verstappen win. So Piastri pole, Verstappen win. That's kind of my hot take. And then the podium will be Piastri. I'm being a bit of a downer. I'm saying Russell then Norris. I'm thinking.
Wow.
Because my thought is, I don't know why, I think Norris will win in Hungary, so it'd be like back to where he was before. So like, it'd be like down and then back up, if you know what I mean. What do you think?
I think. Oh, listen to this. Top stepper.
Yeah.
Norris.
Oh, okay.
Second stepper, Russell.
Okay.
Third stepper. This is scary to say this. Alex Albon.
Oh,
wow.
I'd love to see that race. I want to see that race.
You know when you proposed a question to me, something I feel like someone whispered to me, and it was Alex Albon just in my ear, going, "I'm coming." Do you know what I mean? I'm not putting it past him. And then I'll say Piastri 4th, Verstappen 5th.
Do you know something we haven't even talked about, by the way?
What?
Ferrari. We haven't talked about Ferrari at all. And they're meant to be good, aren't they? So I'm like, maybe it'll be Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, Hamilton podium would be good. We haven't seen that for Ferrari yet, have we? Like a proper podium.
And do you know what's closer than the Drivers' Championship, Max?
What?
I believe me and you in the fantasy league are now.
I had a bit of a stinker because three of my guys had like minus points.
Yeah.
It's
yeah. The problem is me and you have caught up to the front of the pack, but they still have a limitless, and they definitely still have either have a trick. Alicia won't tell me her.
Okay.
She won't tell me what she's got left. She's like proper taking it seriously now. She's like locked in. I'm like, oh no.
Okay, that's how it is.
But I think we can. I think we can still push through. What have you got left? Because all I have left is. Actually, I don't have anything left. I think that's it.
I've got nothing left. I've got final fix, I believe, after qualifying. I believe.
Yeah.
3 times DRS and autopilot, I believe.
Oh no, I believe I have an autopilot.
Yeah. Which is kind of bad because
most
of the time the person I have who has double points gets the double points anyway. So it's like oh cool. Do you know what I mean?
I've got a bit tactical in mine. And I've got rid of my McLaren constructor.
That's bold. That is, I think.
And what I've put Piastri, Norris, and Russell in my team when I autopilot.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping one of those comes through.
We start putting in some Saubers because they're doing bits, by the way, for people's fantasies. I've seen them getting like loads of points.
Well, I had Hulkenberg in mind.
What for GB like for?
No, I had Limitless. But Alicia had Hulkenberg in hers. Used her autopilot, which by the way, she didn't have like a second strong driver. She just had Norris and just put the autopilot on, and I was like, that's crazy, right? Obviously not, because now the autopilot has swung on Nico Hulkenberg and given her like 100 points, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Do you know what she said as well? She was like, oh, I just had a feeling, and I'm like,
BS. You did the cheap driver, didn't you?
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, she needs to start gambling or doing some sports or something, because these feelings are pulling through.
Anyway, so that's sort of our look forward to like the next week, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next week in F1.
Well then,
is it a week from now? Yeah, sorry, this episode's late. We're just busy people. Yeah, with long distance relationships and yeah, we're just busy bodies. We'll get ahead of our recordings so we can do the audio only. Happy days. Well, thank you guys for listening. And Max, you got any final thoughts, or are you all summed up?
My final thought is change your freaking car.
Yeah, change.
That's my that's my one memory of Horner for some reason.
Yeah. You'll change the car because Checo's been saying the car's fucked. How right he was, but we don't look back at it. Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts actually is RIP Perez, because him getting consistently in between 7 and 10th
was
race
we would kill for that.
Was actually
for the Red Bull drivers.
is something that Sonoda's looking himself in the mirror and going, blooming hell, how do you do that? Do you know what I mean? Hashtag Perez 26. Hashtag Russell and Newey. Russell X Newey 26.
Oh, Audi Ultra. Audi World Championship.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we are Audi Ultras next year. Yeah, imagine if we like invest in like a little prawn GP strategy there.
Yeah, exactly.
With Jensen Button to Audi, we're like, right, it's time. It's time. Okay, alright, well, thanks for joining me, Max. We'll be back for one of my favourite races as well. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. Okay, when you're ready, let's go. We've been pushed down into P14. Okay, we've dropped into P14 now. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres.